Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the latest chapter review for Akatsuki no Yona, also known as Yona of the Dawn. That was a little sad, but we're trying to get back into it, ladies and gentlemen. We are trying to get back into the full swing of fake it till we make it. You guys already know this. You gals already know this. Thank you guys so much for your patience, by the way. Also, this will be chapter 260, the words I didn't want to say. Now, I really like this chapter, and we're going to get into it. But first and foremost, you guys might have noticed the shade difference, and that's because we have a crisis on our hands. We have a crisis, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my aviator's broke. I am so sad. I am very distraught. I mean, my wife left me this year, but this takes the cake. That's what I gotta talk about, right? This takes the cake. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna try to repair those for the other videos and stuff. But for right now, we're going with the Oakleys. For some reason, these things cost like hundreds of dollars. I don't know why. I bought these years ago when I was stupid and young with my money. Anyways, so going forward, chapter 260. Now, alright, first and foremost, I like the structure of this chapter. I like how we're getting most of the fight, like Zeno's constantly like, just attack, like no explanation, all that fun jazz. And what I really enjoy about this is, so we're going to go through this for a second, because we do about 12 pages of just him constantly attacking. It's like, hey, and he keeps attacking Hawk, and it's like, I won't let that future come true, blah, 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 blah. And eventually, Yona does the thing where she's like, you know, she tries to block and not hurt Zeno and trying to defend Hawk and yada, yada, yada. So, Zeno ends up grabbing the sword and tries to pull it towards himself. And the theory that a lot of people had was kind of true here. And, absolutely true, is that, so Zeno's trying to sort of force Yona to stab him, not because the sword's magical, because Yona is magical and stuff. And what happens here is, of course, she's like, he's trying to do that shit, so she pulls the sword away, and it slices his hands. And she notices that she's hurt him and stuff, but she doesn't know the full extent until later. Now, Zeno's looking at his hand, and he's noticing the blood, and Yona, so what just now, Zeno tried to stab himself, because she could feel when he grabbed the sword, he tried to pull forward, tried to kill himself, right? We know this. We already know this information, that he's trying to kill himself. But here, and we finally get the explanation, what did he see in the mausoleum? What did he see? And then it all adds up. Wait. In the first place, Zeno came to the mausoleum to end his own life, but Zeno was sitting patiently there, and his clothes are covered in much more blood than before. And she looks down, and she thinks, and she remembers there was blood all over the floor, over the mausoleum still. She said he already had done it once. He stabbed himself, and he still couldn't die. And now again, no, his body will regenerate anyways. He was just trying to take the sword from me. That's all there is to it. And you can tell Yona here, I love the expressions in these, like, I think it's page, I'm looking at it now, I'm on page 15, but pages like 12 to 15, as she gets more freaked out. It's reminding me of Full Metal Alchemist sort of levels. The lines under her eyes keep getting more and more, and she's getting more and more distraught. The pupils are getting smaller, the eyes are getting wider. She's starting, it's some horror elements almost, some trauma elements. She's freaking out. She should be freaking out because she's trying to deny the truth right now. And I'm like, okay, this could go in a very bad direction, but it doesn't. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you, this chapter is pretty bang on, about a 10 out of 10. This is about as close to a 10 out of 10 as you're going to get when it comes to a Yona the Dawn chapter, because we have they fight, clang, 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 clang. It's not like just two blows and somebody gives up. No. We spent a third of the chapter, he's attacking, he's trying to stab himself, she's defending, all this stuff. Then she has the inner monologue, and then she sees that Zeno is not regenerating. Ooh, baby. All confirmed here. Zeno, the wound, is it really that deep? Yep. Aren't your wounds supposed to heal? Now, I don't get this part. It said, but aren't your wounds supposed to heal faster when you hold the chalice? I don't remember what this is in reference to. I don't remember the chalice being that relevant at all in regards to how fast the dragons heal. But the fact that he's literally in the heart of Hideo Castle, he should be healing almost instantaneously. And then she's confirming, what do you have to do in order to die, Zeno? And he, because he knows he can't say it, beats me, goes for Hawk again, and nope, stop, bang. You're only attacking Hawk to make me take the sword. What is it? Why is it that you want me to hold it? Now, granted, maybe the sword itself does have some magical abilities. I don't think it matters. Because we confirmed this. I think that Yona doesn't need the sword. She just needs to be the one to do it. Because it says, if I'm the one to stab you, you will die. Is that it? And now Zeno, yeah. See, once again, Zeno's not a bad person. This is where, okay, everything's coming to a head. Everything's coming together, ladies and gentlemen. And just the emotions, the paneling, the pacing, everything is working towards this. And we're already halfway through the chapter. And none of this pales in comparison to what happens near the end. So we're going to go through it here. So, Miss, do you remember? He's calling him the Mister and the Miss again. When the bodyguards of the Mr. King came to attack us, I stood in front of you and you scratched me, right? With your arrow. And that wound still hasn't healed. And he's showcasing it. She's like, what? And he goes, I'm numb to injuries at this point. So I hadn't noticed it wasn't healing. I realized when I came here, and we see the panel, when he looked down, he noticed that wound reopened and had never healed. Now, I will say there is a little, tiny problem with this. Is that wound happened a little while ago. At best, it would have scarred over. She only nicked him with the arrow, realistically. It sliced his neck a little bit. It bled for a while. The fact is, if it would have bled long enough to be a major injury, then he would have noticed the blood's not stopping. And since he didn't, the wound was pretty shallow, which from what we see, it was shallow, but it's still never fully healed. I'm sort of just on that, well, if it didn't scar over and he never shows any scars, nobody noticed, like he himself didn't notice that. Numb to injuries is one thing. But I'm just, the scar thing, and just a little bit there, it's a slight issue I'm having with the fact that this whole time, even Zeno himself didn't notice that there's a wound here that still hasn't healed. Or there's a scar there or something, because the way they're making it sound is like it opened back up, but I mean, it would have to have been deep enough to bleed longer. Yeah. So, either way, a slight sort of timeline / noticing / a few things there. Overall, doesn't really matter. Still cool. Still works for the plot line and it's not like a plot problem or anything like that. I'm just saying a little unobservant on a few people's part here at best. Or at worst, whichever way you want to take it. But the fact is, that's what he was looking at. He's like, wait a minute. This wound from Yona never fucking healed. It's scarred over, or it's, because we're led to believe we never actually see that it's bleeding. We just know that he noticed that it's maybe it just scarred, and he's like, but I don't scar. I get my head chopped off and I'm fully healed. There's a scar here. So I guess it's sort of taken because of all the blood and stuff, is that it's supposed to be bleeding. But if it's not bleeding and it's just a wound, that makes more sense. So either way, it does work nonetheless. And when he recognizes that's why His Majesty pointed his sword at me back then, he recognized what it all was. The palm of my hand keeps bleeding. This is the undeniable answer, little miss. The way for me to die that I've been searching for over 2,000 years was to be killed by the hand of the Crimson Dragon King. Zeno has never looked more small, more devoid of life, and more almost disproportionately feminine. And I don't mean that in a negative sense. I mean he looks so not like himself. He looks old, yet a baby. He looks so tired and decrepit. He looks so not like himself in this panel, but I think that works beautifully here. He's looking like this ambiguous, this is Zeno, but not Zeno. This might be his body, but it's not him anymore. He's just like 2,000 years. Look, this is what has aged me. This is 2,000 years worth showing on his face, on his body. And it's heartbreaking. It's a heartbreaking page. It's an entire page of a panel to see. And then that's when he remarks that I messed up. It was my only chance. All it took was a second, but I can't give up now. I'm so close to this all being over. Miss, little miss, I'm so sorry, but kill me. Please kill me. I feel truly sick for myself for pushing this on you. So this is actually Zeno back. Zeno's like, little miss, I don't want to bloody your hands, like, because of course he still loves Yona. Zeno loves Yona. Zeno loves Hawk. Zeno doesn't want to do any of this. But he's 2,000 years. It's altered him. He's messed. I feel so sick for messing. I don't want to push this on you, but this needs to happen. It needs to be the end. Please, I swear, I won't hurt the mister. I'll do whatever you want. To me, the mist killing me is my one and only hope. Please do it. So she's just thinking, don't make me say it. Not Zeno, not this. And he's like, he gets down on his hands and knees. I beg you. He said, kill me. And then right over the kill me, I love how it's scratched out. And she looks more like Soo-won than I've ever seen. And she is now cold. She is angry. She is... You know how they say that anger is a fire? Like, you ever see... Like, a man is boisterous and it's like, my rage is a fiery burn, you know, and stuff like that. It's like, it's always boisterous and reunited with heat and flame, and it will never be extinguished, and, you know, it's always down to fire. And that works for men for a lot of the time. But here, what we're seeing is something that's been done in fiction many times, and I'm not... It's a nice distinction. Once again, it's not to criticize any one movement or gender or anything like that, but water and ice have always been utilized to describe women when they're angry. You know, the ice queen, as it were. You know, men, that's the flaming hot, the loud and boisterous and bigger than life. That's the mountain, that's the earth, that's the volcano, eruption. And women are calm, collected, and cold, like ice. But no weaker than you know what I mean? It's the counter, and that's what I'm seeing. This is the nice parallel that I'm seeing, is that, and I love the shading here. White screen. Kill me. Don't make him say such a thing. Who is she talking to? And it's like, don't make it. And she's like, don't do it. Don't make him say such a thing. So now she's praying, but I use prayer in quotes for a reason, because now it's completely whited over like a snowfall, like a cold blizzard of callus. And she grabs Zeno by the goddamn neck, grabs the seal off of him. And she goes, what? Zeno's like, what are you? I'm calling the dragon gods. And he's like, wait, what? He's like, it was them who created the chalice of blood, right? I'm gonna have a talk with them. And you see her, she's standing there. She's cold, she's serious. She's looking down at Zeno. Like, and he's like, well, hold on, miss. You can't just talk to them. I'm angry. I love the direct. This totally unexpected. This is what I love about this chapter. Is that she's like, you have pushed my last dragon to the brink of making him want to die by my... No. I don't care. Now I'm mad. Yona is pissed. She goes... I like that she doesn't go, I'm infuriated, I'm angry. I like that she's not shouting. I like that she's calm, collected, and looking down. And Zeno's like, but miss, you can't call the dragon. I'm angry. Like, just... cool. What? Like... And then just like, why do you and the dragon warriors suffer like this? And now she's pissed. I wish she had kept the calm collectiveness the entire time and just spoke straight up. Like, this makes no sense. Like, I sort of, like, I don't mind the emotion, but I wish she had kept up with that. Don't make him say this. You made him say it. Snatch, I'm talking to the dragon gods. I'm angry. I wanted her to keep that monotone the whole time. So a little bit of disappointment there, but it still works for the scene. It says, you fought for this country, you devoted yourself to the Crimson Dragon King, yet the 3 dragons get a short lifespan, you're made immortal, and the only way to put an end to this is for me, the Crimson Dragon King, to kill you? The Crimson, and now she's accepted the role. She keeps talking in third person like she's not it. The Crimson Dragon King wants none of that. As referring to herself, and of course here to you, who she's sort of vision-esque, flashback memory-esque met. It's like, the Crimson Dragon King, as in myself, wants none of this. And then, so then she stands there once again, calm and collected. We see the mausoleum in the background and stuff, and she's standing there, holding the seal, wind flowing last page. Whether they're gods or not, if they're going to keep toying with you, I will make them fall from the heavens. She's like, we're not having a conversation. She just, like, I expect her to go, whether they're gods or not, if they're going to keep toying with you, it's time I actually might have liked, it's time that they and I had a face-to-face or had a heart-to-heart or had a little chat. Might have been more dangerous. I kind of, once again... It's my own headcanon or whatever you want to call it going forward that I wanted her to stay cool and collected. And it's more dangerous when people use simple words. When they say, I'm angry. I think it's time you and I had a talk. Sometimes that's far more dangerous than, I am going to kick the living shit out of you. Sometimes the latter works. Other times it sounds far more menacing. When it's, you and I, we shall have words. You know what I mean? Nothing, you could say that, hey, you and I want to have a talk? You and I are going to have a talk. You know, there's more than one way. When it's a sentence that can be taken one way or another depending on tone, I find defining the tone works so much better. So I sort of wish that, but still the line works well here. I will make them fall from it. She's like, I'm taking this. I'm talking to the dragon gods, and we are going to have a conversation. And Zeno's like, wait, miss, that the crest and the chalice of blood have to be with me. And Zeno, this crest is reacting to my blood. And then that's the end of the chapter. And I'm just like, okay. So now we're a month away from the next chapter. Fair enough. We've gotten a lot of early chapters recently. Great chapter to end on. And yeah, like, how as a Yona fan do you not love this chapter? Because as a Zeno fan it works. But as a Yona fan, someone who would... I think we can all collectively agree nobody liked the weak Yona at the beginning of the whole they join up with soo-won's group thing. That didn't work. This is Yona back to full form, defending her friends and going, these are my dragons. This is my Thunder Beast. This is my kingdom. I'm the Crimson Dragon King, and I don't give a fuck. They're telling me what I can and can't. No. I'm Yona of the goddamn Dawn. And we're gonna have words. That's what I love. The attitude. Yona, who killed ever since she cut her hair, slavery on the boat, took the arrow out, and boom, baby. No quarter given. That Yona has been a beast and strong and driven. And she faltered at the beginning of this saga, this last section of the manga. And now we've got that attitude back. This is a female protagonist. This is what we want our female characters to be written like. We want them fallible. And we don't need them to be tomboys. They can still be girls. They can still be girly girl. But when push comes to shove, we want to see the drive, the attitude, the ambition, the I take no prisoners. We want to see the women in power to be powerful. This is how you write a goddamn, not only just a protagonist, but especially a female protagonist. Someone who lived, like, once again, I love Hawk. Hawk could run this story if he wanted to. But it's times like this that you realize, and we sometimes forget, Yona is the main character for a fucking reason. Not just in name, but in action. She works. She's one of the best written female protagonists I've ever read. I've read a lot of goddamn manga, let me tell you. I've read a lot of shonen, a lot of shoujo, a lot of seinen. She gotta be up there. She's gotta be top 10. She's gotta be hitting that top 10 mark by now. I'd have to do a whole list on that one, but my god. She's gotta be one of the best written. So, 100%, this is a Yona chapter. This is what Yona of the Dawn has always been about, and I feel like they forgot this at the beginning of the arc. They were trying to show vulnerability. They were trying to show that being fallible. I think they went a little too dark, depressing, and Darkhold can't get out, blah, blah, blah. I think that was the wrong choice to make, but I'm glad that we're sort of working our way out of it, and we get to this. I'm one happy Yona the Dawn reader. That's all I'm saying. As far as being someone who reads Yona the Dawn, I can't see anybody being more happy about this chapter. You know what I mean? I don't know how you would critique this chapter to make... Once again, my little tweaks are just because I loved the doom, the cold doom that I know these dragon gods are in for it when Yona finally says, alright. And she breaks the seal, like, crush it. I'm expecting her to do some Thanos snap thing, like, crush it in her hand. We're speaking! You know, I'm not done talking to you yet, dragons, gods, crack. Like, I expect her to do some high-level shit here. So, let's go. I'm here for it. Are you, ladies and gentlemen, here for it? So definitely let me know down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always. And can someone please tell me why consistently 3 people keep disliking my Yona of the Dawn reviews? I get plenty of likes. It's still at a high like mark, but why do you continue to watch my takes if you don't like them? And once again, why are you disliking the video without telling me why you dislike the video? I'd be happy to either acknowledge it or at the very least rebuttal it or even change something if it's really pissing a lot of people off. I have no problem. But disliking a video and not telling a person why is kind of a bitch move. Just not gonna lie here. I have never once disliked a video without at least putting a comment as to why I disliked the video. Whether for misinformation, whether the attitude, whether, I don't know, something. But I've never hit the dislike button without giving a reason why, because then how's the person supposed to improve? It's not constructive criticism to hit the dislike button. It's constructive criticism to dislike it and tell the person why, so they may or may not take that into consideration to improve the following video. So, once again, it's only been happening for the last couple of reviews, only recently, so I am curious as to who's hitting dislike and why. And once again, doesn't mean that you won't continue to dislike these videos. I'm just curious. So, let me know down once again in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see all you Yona the Dawn fans next month for chapter 261. I'm looking forward to it. This chapter was awesome, especially that ending part. So, what did you guys think? Let me know. Sayonara, everybody.